I feel like the creeper probably needed moisturizer more than Derry's eyes. Hello everyone, and welcome to Fiction Affliction, the show on the internet where we overthink everything that you underthink. So, just like every other show on the internet. Got it. I am your host, Alec Hamlin, and today we're going to be talking about how you can survive 4 different horror movie villains. Gareth, you know, this video would have done a lot better in October, like during Halloween. Now guys, before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also that bell-looking button so you can be notified when other ADHD-filled rant videos like this will come out. Villain number 1.
I want to play a game.
Jigsaw from the Saw franchise. Now some of you are probably thinking, Alec, his traps seem really complicated. How could you get out of his traps? Some of them are unbeatable. Some of them are unfair. Well, I've got an easy solution. Just be a good person. And don't be a cop. Jigsaw only picks bad people for his traps. For the most part. There's like a questionable gray area on a couple, like there was a guy who like just called out sick for work and then he got lit on fire. What I'm getting, like 90% of the time, he only picks bad people. It's a solid 83% of the time, he only picks bad people. There was that one guy who was just depressed. I mean, like, if Jigsaw really wanted to help him, all he needed to do was, like, call him a psychiatrist or something. Anyway, this is the easiest horror villain that you can survive. As long as you're a good person, you're probably not gonna wind up on his radar. And then after that, just make sure that you're not suffering from any, like, mental health issues. Make sure that you don't become a cop. Firefighters are cool, all right? Like, those guys get all the ladies. Cops are kind of complicated in today's political climate anyway. Don't become a cop, and you won't have any trouble with Jigsaw. That's like it. That's all we have for number 1. That was really quick. I feel like other videos, they usually kind of stay on a topic for a bit longer than what yeah, easy fix. Just don't be a cop and be a good person. So don't be a cop. Well, police officers are not going to be part of my fan base after this video. Got it. Villain number 2, Electric Boogaloo. Actually, it's Jason from the Friday the 13th movies. Now, surprisingly enough, there's actually a lot of easy ways to defeat Jason Voorhees. Find yourself a nuclear weapon. That shouldn't be too hard. Or shave your head and make sure that you look like Jason, because for some weird reason, one of the sequels said that was like his weakness for some reason. There's a lot to unpack with all of the psychological things that we could talk about in that statement. But most importantly, don't be a whore.
Roxy, God bless you. You were a good whore.
He doesn't like that. He really is all about abstinence. Like, he's super pro abstinence, and if he finds you not being aligned with abstinence, he gets angry. Because apparently, when you're having some of the adult fun time, children are drowning. And Jason's not about that life. He's also got like a whole bunch of mommy issues that I'm sure he has not gotten any psychological help on. So this one's kind of a theory, but I don't know, maybe just start emulating an abusive mother and he might submit. I don't know if that's gonna help. It could. I'm just throwing out some ideas, okay? I'm an ideas guy, all right? Maybe in any future sequels that happen, some of the protagonists could do that. That might save them. That's all I'm saying. Hasn't been confirmed, but it's a theory. A movie theory. Get it? Get it? Get it? I did a reference to that one guy who's beloved. And I am not him. Now our next villain.
Hey Alec, hold your friggin' horses, my dear. We need to talk about our sponsors.
It's at this point of the video where I am legally obligated to tell you how excited I am that our video is being sponsored by Grifters Cola. And to anybody out there watching this video, here's a pro tip. Don't ever sign a contract at a bar at 3 in the morning when a shady character comes up to you and possibly slips something in your drink and then tells you, hey, you only live once, why not sign this? Because then you get locked into a contract for all of eternity. That's why. Anyway, this video is being sponsored by Grifters Cola. Grifter's Cola. It doesn't count as slave labor if the country that you have the sweatshops in currently has a government that's being overthrown. How wonderful. Why did we ever sign that godforsaken contract with this company? Villain number 3. Let's forget all that just happened. Villain number 3. The Creeper from the Jeepers Creepers franchise. Oh, Jeepers Creepers. A movie monster that was created by a very real monster. Look up Victor Salva, and the guy who protected him for years, Francis Ford Coppola. Anyway, Jeepers Creepers is a monster that eats people to regenerate things in his body. Does he need a new foot? Well, then he'll eat somebody's foot. Does he need a new heart? Well, then he'll eat somebody's heart. I don't know why he doesn't eat somebody's hair follicles, because it's thinning up there, but that's a different story. Oh, and here's another fun fact about the Creeper. It doesn't die. Like, other people have tried to kill it, but it doesn't die. They all fail. So what you have is a monster that's pretty much invincible, and then it can smell fear. So this is an obstacle. Now, some of you guys are gonna say that the Creeper's weakness is just to not be afraid. Easier said than done. Have you seen that thing? Holy crap, that is terrifying! Look at it! Look at it! When I was a child, I had an irrational fear of Cheerios.
But why?
You're probably asking why. I too have been asking that question for years. I don't know. But what I'm getting at is that some people just can't control their fear mechanism. So to those people, I want to tell you, there is still hope. Just lead a very unhealthy lifestyle. Just make sure that you don't have any good parts of your body that anybody would want. Make sure you're treating your body like a toxic waste dump. Eat the cake, sniff the sugar, puff on the old magic dragon, drink 1 can of Rockstar. Clearly the best way to fight the Creeper is to be a wheelchair-bound diabetic with a gambling problem. It's weird, unconventional, I understand that. A lot of people's fight or flight kind of kicks in and immediately everybody wants to run away. But if you're bound to a wheelchair, odds are you're good. Also in the movie, it resides in Florida, so that's just another reason to not go to Florida. Nobody needs to go to Florida. Nobody wants to go to Florida. You shouldn't go to that state. It's an awful, awful place. Which leads us to villain number 4. Whatever the hell these things are in The Descent.
All right, Alec, what type of advice are you gonna give us to try and fight off these monsters in The Descent? Should we come prepared? Maybe with some weapons, like a baseball bat with a nail sticking through the top. No, just don't go cave diving, you idiot.
What about cave diving sounds exciting? That sounds awful. It sounds like the worst experience ever. At no point during this experience would I ever think that anyone is having fun. I think it is just fear the whole entire time you're doing that. Perfect way for the Creeper to show up. And then, oh my god, you have to be a wheelchair-bound diabetic gambling addict in order to defeat the Creeper. How on earth are you going to be able to do the cave diving after that? Yeah, The Descent is a super easy one, just don't go cave diving. I don't know why people do it, you guys are all dumb. Plus two, that one idiot just decided like, hey, we're gonna go off onto a place that's completely uncharted. Nothing says smart idea like going into a cave system that's never been mapped before. Super smart. Anyway, kind of like the whole Creeper thing where you don't want to go to Florida. In this case, you just don't want to go to caves. If you ever see a cave, always assume that Gollum's weird family is living there. And that's it. That's all the villains that we're talking about today. I don't know how to survive any other villains. It's just those 4. So if you found this helpful, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because that helps me. I don't know how to end these, so goodbye.